Hi. Welcome to Movies Reflexed. Today, I will show you a horror, thriller movie from 2019, titled Ready or Not. Watch out for spoilers. Take care. A huge palace comes on the view as the movie starts. There, a wounded man was trying to hide from someone. Someone had shot an arrow at his belly. There were many posters placed inside the palace stating La Bale. There was a creepy darkness across the entire palace. Two little kids were also running from someone with a lamp. They were siblings. The younger one's name was Alex. His brother hides him in a cupboard. But then, that injured man appears there and asks for help from Alex's brother. But he begins to call his whole family by shouting instead of helping him. Then, the residents of the palace reach there. They had some creepy masks on them. They drag the wounded man along with them. They shoot him to death. There, a lady was shouting for safety of that man. And now, 30 years have passed since this incident took place. Now, Alex was held on a marriage with a girl named Grace. And Grace is the main character of this movie. Alex is the same kid who was seen as a kid at the start of the movie. And now he is grown up and about to marry, whereas we are still single. God knows when something will happen with us. The family was an aristocratic family. Whereas Grace was fostered in the orphanage. Grace and Alex had deep feelings for each other. But Alex hasn't lived with his family because of the incident that occurred 30 years earlier. He used to live separately. Then, Alex's brother warns Grace. He says, "This is your last chance. Just refuse the proposal of marriage. Our family is not acceptable. You must always stay away from our family." Here, Grace wasn't getting his point. But she is surprised when Alex himself also alerts her stating the same fact. He says, "My family members are weird and mysterious." But Grace ignores his statements. She says, "I have great association with you. I want to lead my life till the end with you." Alex's father used to dislike Grace because she was a foster child. But they were satisfied with the marriage because Alex had at least returned home for this cause. Alex's whole family considers that Grace has only married Alex because of high status. On the other side, Grace had no idea how mysterious this family is. Afterwards, their marriage is completed. Alex's aunt was peeping through a secret door when they are in their room. Witnessing her, Grace is frightened. Alex's aunt says, "Everyone is waiting for you." Saying it, she leaves from there. Alex tells her, whenever a new member comes to join our family, he has to play a game at 12 a.m. You will have to select a card. And we will play the game that has been written on that card. He says, our ancestors had earned a lot of money by playing such games. From then, it has become a tradition for our family. Knowing all these, Grace is surprised. She also feeling awkward. Then she asks, "Is it really necessary for me to win the game?" Alex says on it, "No, only your participation is necessary." As he comes down, his father asks him, "What have you told Grace about the games?" He tells, "I didn't expose the true secret yet. And I will not tell her. I would rather leave from here as the morning arrives." After this, Grace moves downstairs and Alex's mother talks with her. From it, Grace feels much relaxed and satisfied. Because she never had the love of a mother. And now, she had gotten a whole family. There was only Alex's mother, who liked Grace. Meanwhile, Alex's sister also arrived there with her spouse and kids. Then, they take Grace to another room. And this room was only meant for the family members. Intruder was never allowed there. This room, and everything inside it, was looking very mysterious. Because there were different categories of weapons hung on walls. Seeing all these, she is shocked. There, she sees a photo of a man. Alex's father says, "That is my father." He also reveals the whole family traditions and the games to her. He says, "Many years ago, this tradition had been initiated by my father. He was very fond of playing card games. And he also had a shop of cards. Once my father met a weird man named La Bale. They both continued to play the card game for many hours. There, my father won the game. Then, La Bale gifted his secret box to him. He predicted, your coming generation will continue to get even more rich and successful. The rule is that a game will have to be played whatever the secret box reveals." After this, my father arranged the sports equipment and now, he has a complete sports team. That's why, a new settler of this family will have to play this game through this secret box. And, the game to be played will be decided by La Bale himself. Then, Alex's siblings tells her about the games. Grace takes out the card. And, the game written on that card was, hide and seek. Seeing that card, all the family members are shocked. But they keep quiet at this. Grace asks smiling, "Are we really going to play this game?" Then, Alex's father asks Grace to hide herself. And all the family members will search out for her. Then, all the doors are locked and the cameras are shut down. As they were following the rules given by LaBelle. Then, the music is played. And all the family members get ready with their desired weapons. As they had to play the game as according to the rule, so they must obey it. Then, the game is started according to the tradition. Alex goes to sit in a room because he was unwilling to partake in the game. There, Alex's sister-in-law was keeping an eye on him so that he doesn't go out to help her. Grace hides herself in the elevator. The family members begin the search for her. When Alex's sister-in-law goes to talk to him, she notices that Alex had fled through a secret door. Grace comes out of there because she was getting bored sitting there. Then, Alex comes from the backside and takes Grace into another room while catching her. The both husband and wife hide in that room. But then, their maiden wakes up hearing the walking sounds. Because that maiden was taking care of Alex's nephews, so she thinks that maybe it could be the child. Because the kids were not in their bed. So, she goes to check. And she enters the room where Alex and Grace were hiding. But then, his sister fires her gun on the maiden. The bullet directly hit her eye. Consequently, her eye is pulled out and she dies immediately. Witnessing it, Grace is panicked. Then, other family members also approach there. And they are talking about it. Where should this dead body be disposed soon? Because, if Grace sees it, she will discover the truth of our family. But, how could they know that Grace had already witnessed it? And she has also know about the family's secrets. Alex's brother asks his aunt, "Will this blood be accepted?" She says on it, "Not at all. We just need the blood of the bride. And, if we fail to kill Grace during this night, then LaBelle will kill us brutally as the dawn breaks." Grace hears all their conversations. She also knows that the whole family wants my blood. Then Alex says, "We will have to escape this place as soon as possible. It is extreme necessity for us." He also says, "The card you have been given is the most menacing card. Hide and seek meaning in that doesn't prefer the literal meaning. It means you will hide and all the family members will search you out. And they will kill you if they find you. And this family has the belief that LaBelle will end them as the morning arrives if they fail to kill you. Then, they make a plan." Alex says, "I will unlock the kitchen's room so you may escape from there." But all the members catches her sight as she was moving towards the kitchen. Looking at her, all begin to chase her like animals. But Grace moves to the study room shrewdly and manages to secure her life. But then, Alex's brother reached there. Grace asks for help from him. He says to her, "I don't want to kill you at all. Because you are my brother's wife. And he loves you very much." He says, "You have 10 seconds, run away hurriedly." The rule of the game was, whoever will witness Grace will call the other family members. So that all the family members could kill her mutually. Grace runs away, and 10 seconds are over. Then, Alex's brother calls all the family members to his place. All the family members are angry at him. They say, "Why didn't you kill her right away?" Then, Alex's father decides to search for Grace using the camera footages. Then, they observe that Alex is in the security room. He has unlocked all the doors. In spite of this, Grace was unable to escape from there. Because Alex's uncle was there. And he had tried his best to kill her. And a great fight is held between them. But Grace runs away after injuring him. Alex's brother and father breaks the door to the security room and enters here. They knock out Alex and handcuff him. After this, Grace again goes to the same elevator to hide herself. But there was another maiden who was already hiding there for their brutal activities. While shouting, she was telling everyone that Grace is here. But then, her neck is caught in the elevator. And she dies in a very brutal way. Here, a great secret is revealed. Alex's aunt was the same woman we saw at the beginning of the movie. Who was shouting to help and secure that wounded man. That wounded man was actually her husband. He had become the target of this game. She is telling Alex's father, LaBelle requires the sacrifice from those who are chosen to direct the family members. As he has chosen me first. And now, he has selected Alex. So that he may sacrifice his wife. Grace runs to the animal farm. Alex's nephew was already in that farm. So, she tries to talk to him. But that kid fires his gun on her. And the bullet hits her hand. Being aggressive, Grace punches that kid and knocks him out. And she herself falls into the basement. There were many dead bodies lying there. And these are the bodies of those peoples who had become the targets of this game. It indicates that they had killed a number of peoples before. Grace hardly manages to escape that basement. But a nail pierces her hand. Being more wounded, she feels even more troubled. She also tries to run from the main door. And she also asks for help from a car driver. But he doesn't help her. Then she runs to the forest to hide herself from them. As Alex's uncle was chasing her, he reaches there. But Grace strangles him using a wire. And she moves away with the car. Then she contacts the operator and tells him to make her contact with the police. But that operator disconnects the call saying, "This is a stolen car." Now, Grace was entrapped there. Meanwhile, Alex's uncle comes there and knocks her out. And then he puts her in the backseat of the car. Then he makes a video call to the entire family and reveals Grace to them. He says, "I have secured Grace, you may start the preparation for the slaughtering." But then, Grace restores her consciousness. She attacks him. The car loses its control and crashes with a tree. There, Alex's uncle is killed on the spot. But Grace remains safe from this accident. But as she was getting out of the car and about to flee, then Alex's brother approached there. Here, she again asks for help from him. But he doesn't help her this time. He rather knocks her out. Because his father was keeping an eye on him. Then, they begin to perform the ritual while tying Grace. They speak the enchanted words and also take a liquid. As Alex's father is going to kill her, then they all begin blood vomiting. Because Alex's brother had mixed something in their drink. Getting the chance, he frees Grace and also supports her to escape. At the same time, his wife fires her gun on him. Seeing it, Grace flies into rage. And she punches the wife and knocks her out. Then, she again attempts to flee. Alex had also restored his senses and he frees himself from the handcuffs. Coming outside, he witnesses that his brother has been murdered. Alex's father comes there as Grace was escaping from there. He struggles to kill her. But she attacks him with a lamp. It causes to set fire there. As she moves ahead, Alex's mother appears there and tries to end her. And she angrily says to Grace, "You don't deserve my family." Here, Grace also becomes aggressive and heartbroken. A great fight is held between them. Meantime, Grace gets that puzzle box of labale. She kills Alex's mother by hitting her with the box. And she says, "You and your family, none of you shits deserve me. Go to hell all of you." Alex had also witnessed everything. How Grace killed his mother so violently. As a result, the love for Grace is vanished from the heart of Alex. And he turns his thoughts. And now, he himself catches her and brings her to the family. They all grab her. And Alex himself was going to kill her this time. But she takes a side when Alex is nearly to kill her. But the knife had stabbed her on the shoulder. In spite of this, she doesn't lose faith. And this time, she was infuriated. Then she notices the morning time has started. Observing it, all begin to hide themselves. Because they believed that labale will kill them now. But nothing happened as such. They don't die, and they are shocked and excited at the same time. They say, "We will never spare Grace's life at any cost. Because she has known the secret of our family." Then, Alex's aunt moves to kill her with a huge axe. But before it, she is blasted into pieces. It means whatever they were believing was based on truth. And now, labale was killing everyone horribly one by one. And they begin to explode one at a time. Alex's sister tries go outside with her kids. But she is also exploded on the way. Then, Alex's father-in-law lifts the box of labale. He says, "You have no right to kill me brutally. Because I have always played this game, following every rules you threw." Then, he is also exploded. Now, Grace and Alex are the only ones surviving. Grace had suffered a great trouble. So, she wasn't sensing who was surviving and who was dying. But she was satisfied with the catastrophe of that family. Then, Alex asks forgiveness from Grace. He says, "I have done bad with you." Grace says on it, "No. I will never forgive you. I want divorce." As she throws of the ring on Alex. Then, Alex is also exploded to death. Then, a fire spreads throughout the entire house. The whole palace burns. Then, labale appears in the burning flame. It is referred that Grace has won. And now, all the properties are in the ownership of Grace. And with it, the movie ends here. If you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the upcoming uploads. Thank you for watching.